Hello. I hope everybody's having a fabulous day. This video today is kind of a second part to the other video I did on limiting beliefs and your ego. I wanted to share an exercise with you all that I have found really helpful in my own personal development, and I think that you guys might find it helpful in your personal development as well. So just a brief recap. What is what is that voice in your head? Why do we talk badly to ourselves? Why are we criticizing ourselves? Why do we not believe enough in ourselves? What is going on? So we all have this voice that comes up, usually in stressful situations, in fear-based situations. And for everybody, it's going to be different, okay? Every situation will be different for every single person. But the way it looks, the way it behaves is the same for everyone. That voice that comes up in your head that's negative is your ego. And your ego was designed to keep you safe. All right, so we need the ego. We need the ego. There's a time and a place for the ego. The ego keeps you safe. It keeps you from, doing something that's really terrible if you listen to it. But the ego was designed to help you survive, and it was not designed to help you thrive. And so while we could listen to our ego and be perfectly fine, if we listen to our ego, we're not going to grow. We're not going to be able to take the risks that we want to take. We are not going to be able to go on our adventures or anything like that if we always listen to the ego. So what is really, really important for each one of us is to recognize when that voice comes up and understand, and this takes practice, but you have to recognize the voice and then not fall into the trap of that, going down the rabbit hole and allowing it to spiral out of control with, one negative thought after another, after another, after another. This is something that it's natural. It's something that happens quite easily. But the good news is that we can train ourselves to stop doing that. And the very first step is to recognize when you're doing it. And that just means major self-awareness, which I'll tell you right now, and this will be in a separate video, but meditation is the best way to train yourself on how to become aware of your present surroundings, the here and the now. And it's when you're present is what will allow you to recognize that self-critical voice, okay? Because you're hearing it and you're separate from it. But if you don't know how to be in the now, if you don't know how to be in the present moment, it's going to be much more difficult for you to recognize that self-critical voice and then stop yourself from following it down that rabbit trail, okay? The second step that you need to take is to write down. This is what I did, and you may find another way of doing it, but I wrote down all the negative statements that I was telling myself, all of the thoughts, all of those limiting beliefs. I started writing them down because I was like, what is it? Why am I telling myself that? This is horrible that I think about this about myself. And so I started writing them down. And it's when you start writing them down and you write them all down, all those crazy thoughts that you tell yourself, you start like, oh my God, no wonder I have anxiety. No wonder I have depression. No wonder I'm sick physically sick. No wonder I have such a hard time getting up in the mornings, you know, because these are my thoughts that I entertain throughout the day. Again, that's another video. So you want to write down those negative thoughts and those self-critical beliefs. They're limiting beliefs, but these are stories you tell yourself, and you're believing them, and that's what we're wanting to override. So writing them down is really important. Then I gave my ego a name. I named her Eris. You can name yours. I think it really helps to name this voice so that you can have a conversation, so that there can be some communication back and forth. Every time Eris pops up and says something to me, and I know it's Eris because it's negative and it's self-critical and it's meant to stop me in my tracks, I will take the time to say, okay, listen, I want to do this thing, and you are making me feel like I'm not smart enough, I'm not talented enough, I'm not good enough for it. So we need to explore this, and then I'll write a letter, okay? And writing a letter is really powerful because writing it in words helps you, well, first of all, it's like steps later so that you're able to read it, go back in time and read it and see, oh wow, this is something that came up for me 3 months ago and how interesting it's happening again, that type of thing. Writing it's really important. And I just say, Dear Eris, and then I rehash the situation, the thing that I want, and then I rehash what Eris is telling me. And I write down as best as I can, word for word, the statements that are coming from Eris, which are negative, they're not nice, and I write them down kind of like in a bullet point list. You can do it however you want. I just do it in a bullet point list because I having them listed out makes them stand out more and is more jarring for me, and it makes me a little bit like ticked off. Like, this is not cool. I can't live like that. And then what I do is I say, but here's the truth. Here's the real of it. And then I rewrite all of those negative statements into positive statements, basically the exact opposite of what Eris tells me. And I rewrite all of those statements as I am, and then I use positive language. So if one of the negative statements was I'm not talented enough, then I can just easily write I am talented enough. And if I wanted to expand on that with positive language, I can. I am talented enough because I am, and then I can go on into evidence of why I am talented enough or smart enough, or why taking this risk would actually help me grow. This will definitely trigger your ego a little bit more. And, if you're brand new to this, your ego is really going to be tripped out over this. I'm just telling you right now, so be prepared. So you have to make this a daily practice. I definitely recommend, confronting your ego every day. It doesn't have to go on for very long, but maybe writing your ego a letter every day. At the end of the day, maybe if something came up for you, the middle of the day, whatever makes sense to you, and just say, you know what, this is what happened today. I don't appreciate that you came into, and interrupted my planning session to make me feel like I couldn't do this, because here's the real of it. And then you write down the affirmation, the positive statement that is going, like I said, it's going to really trigger your ego. It's going to come back at you. I know it will. But let me just tell you this. It's a practice, okay? This isn't something that's going to happen like magically. Things aren't going to change overnight for you, but you will feel better immediately. when you start talking positively to yourself and you start saying, I am good enough, I am talented enough, the relief that comes over you, that feeling of, you know what, I can do this. I've done hard things in the past, and there's plenty of evidence for that. I can do this too. It's a matter of practicing and putting those affirmations and those positive thoughts back into your daily thoughts every single day, through, and as often as you can throughout the day. It makes a huge difference. And so I really encourage you to write this letter, sign it, and date it, and keep it, okay? Because once you keep these letters, they will help you, especially when if things start getting really rough. You can go back to these letters to see how you fought back, and that you do have this belief system that's a positive one, and it's full of self-love and self-acceptance. It just needs more nurturing. You're better off nurturing the positive stuff than the negative stuff, I'm telling you right now. So let me know. Give it a try. Let me know if you name your ego. I would love to hear the names. And if you write this letter, I'd love to hear how it goes for you. And if you have any questions about how else to write it or things to add into it, I'd be happy to chat with you about that. I hope you have a beautiful, creative day. Take care.